Welcome back to another episode of More to the Story. I'm your host here, More. I'm in here on a solo tip. Farron's out gallivanting. And I'm taking over. I got the guys in here. We're going to have some real conversations. You might notice that one person is missing because we got some older guys in here. You had to go empty that tank real quick. Drain the main vein, as they say. Yeah. But we got a fantastic lineup for you guys today. I'm going to start on my far right now. You know what I'm saying? It's my dog. Y'all know him. He's no stranger.
Right, though.
Huh?
I'm not a part of the far right.
What?
That part. Let it be known.
It's a good distinction. Make sure they know that right there.
Can't just throw that out there.
That's very good. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen him on all of our shows, on the podcast. You've seen him all over KOSS. You've seen him on All Deaf. He has his own things going on, 2 podcasts himself, on top of being a owner of 2 different studios. So he is literally ingrained in entertainment. He also does a year-end wrap-up rap video with his daughters. And he used to do this comedy freestyle thing where we were beefing with other rappers across the country. I mean, not other rappers, other rapping comedians across the country because you started this, man.
Oh.
I feel like you did.
Nope, Clinton. Keep going.
You and Ronnie and Clint were the originators of this beef. Yeah. But he is an actor, he's a comedian, director, producer, rapper, business owner, sir. And an amazing father, ladies and gentlemen. Outstanding friend, too.
Wow.
Welcome back to the show, Mr. Dion Lack.
Thank you. You have a better memory than I'm like, yeah, I did do that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I did do that, man.
I remember.
I need you all the time to introduce me to people as an
I am horrible when it comes to myself, though.
Yeah, wow.
I be forgetting what I did all the time.
That part.
They're like, but you did it. I'm like, no, I didn't. They have video. I'm like, I guess I did.
Got video. Yeah.
I guess I did.
I don't want to see what's happening up under his head. That's why I got his hat on.
Listen, everybody. Rich was talking the same thing. He's like, yeah, I got to get to the boy. I was like, my appointment is tomorrow, so I completely understand.
I did theirs. They got hats on.
Listen, man, I get it.
Yeah,
but you saving money because you cutting the kids' hair.
Yeah, I got mine. I've been busy. I just been on the road. And I was like, well, school start Monday.
Yeah,
I'll get
y'all
y'all right this weekend.
Yeah.
I was like,
I miss school starting for the kid because I'm going to tell y'all what, the kid's 17, she's graduated, and she be sleeping in to like 10, 11, 1, 2 o'clock p.m.
No more, does she?
Right? And at first I used to get so pissed off because I'm like, man, get your ass up. If we up, you need to be up. I don't care if you got no job or not. You need to be looking for a job. But she eat like a grown man. And ain't no going back to school, ain't no summer program. So now I just let her sleep. The longer she can sleep, the more groceries we can keep in this house. That's how I had to look at it because it was aggravating me. Then I had to look at it from an economical standpoint. It's like, this is actually helping me. So I'll take it. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right, my immediate right, we have another father, all right, a husband, content creator. Starting a whole lot of shit on Instagram. I love it. I just sit back and watch. He be calling people. Yeah, he be, y'all like, y'all don't even know what basketball is. You motherfuckers ain't never played. You don't understand the levels of this. You dumb fucks. Do you understand? That'd be Keon. He don't hear it. He don't hear how he sounds. But I be watching it. He comes off like Dr. Umar when he's talking to people. Do you understand the levels of basketball?
But here's the thing: on that post, the NBA players like exactly, bro. Yeah. Like they was in the DMs and in the comments, like they don't know. This
is very true. This is very true. Stand-up comedian, actor, content creator, husband, father. He's doing it all. He's actually about to film his first 45-minute set.
We're not filming that.
Oh, you're not filming it?
No.
I'm gonna film it.
No, we're not filming. I told them no.
I'm gonna share it.
I told them we ain't filming.
I'm pulling up just to share it to my Patreon.
Oh no.
Get ready, guys. We watching Keon's 45.
I'm just doing 45.
Yeah, of course.
So the people in LA get to see what I do on the road.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm not filming now.
You're not filming. I'm filming it. Don't worry about it. Keon is here, ladies and gentlemen. Keon Poley is here. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
No, thank you for having me.
Hey, man, absolutely. I got to get you when I can. And this is how committed of a father Keon is. He was like, I can come. I gotta bring the kids. And I'd be like, come on. They got it now.
They be on daddy issues.
They occupied. They got things. They
grown now. I went back and looked at when me and Tony first started daddy issues, and he was 2, and they was on my lap, and I was like, now they
was sliding all over. I remember that was one of my first episodes of daddy issues I did with y'all, and he was just sliding all over. One point you had to walk out of the interview. A lot of changes there.
They be like, I'd be like, we gotta go to work. They be like, all right.
Hey, man.
They notice. They walk around, get whatever snacks they need, go to the bathroom. They
know this area.
They adults.
They got the key to the front
door.
Thing.
No, now I wanted to stop. Like I was trying to get out of baby mode. I was like, oh, babies are trash. Let's be done with this. But now this, I'm like, stop. That's not like don't grow no more. Like
No, they
stop.
gonna grow.
And they just keep. I go to the road. He come back. He got a drink in his hand. He be like, so that was the road, brother. And he's a cigarette. I'm like, when did you get a beard? Like it's
Cross
just,
legs and
newspaper. You take a week off. And you be like, God damn.
Kev just posted. I think it was his son's birthday yesterday. I was like, yeah, his oldest turned 17 yesterday.
Yeah.
He was like, where did
I remember when he was a kid.
Yeah. We were touring with them as kids because they were too young to stay by themselves. So they were touring with us on the very first tour.
Wow.
They were with us.
Wow.
I remember when Zay was this tall and JoJo was like this tall. I was playing Simon Says with them on the road. It's crazy. It's a crazy time, man.
Yo.
All right. To my left, my dog. You know what I'm saying? It's my acting brother. We've done a hit series together. Now he's on another hit series. He's out here doing his damn thing. He's getting his life together, working out.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I remember one of the funniest things about our friendship is I had this hat on. And it was an LA hat and it has a sunflower on it, or a daisy on it. And I was bragging to him, not bragging, but showing it off, like, yeah, man, you see this? I got this 2 colors. He was like, I know. I bought them for you. I was like, no, I saw this on Instagram. He's like, yeah, I told you about it on Instagram. And then I sent it to y'all. So I was like, no.
That's so funny.
You know what? I don't remember checking out.
Wow.
They just showed up and you was just like, I must have ordered these.
Yeah. And just say thank you another.
That's how you know he has a
He
problem.
got money.
No, I was
But and a problem though.
it was during COVID. So, you're just buying stuff during COVID.
No,
It
I
was-
don't know. I don't know anything about that.
You chose to go raw. So that's your fault. You know what I mean?
I don't know anything about
That's what happens when you can't buy nothing because you got kids.
I
But
was
ladies
buying
and gentlemen,
N95 masks.
he is just a kindred soul, man. We got so many similarities, and just a genuine ass person. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Tristan J.
That could've went
Winger.
a different
Ba,
direction.
ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
Just
Me,
a
one.
genuine ass person.
Just-
Like what? You
I
said 2
love
things in me
eggs.
true.
2 things can be true at once. 2 things can definitely be true at once,
Hey,
man.
listen,
How you doing, man?
excellent.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I feel good. I'm drinking my water. Look at this big ass
Hey.
motherfucker. I
Yeah.
could drink 2 of these.
Your trainer.
Oh.
Just
Yes,
I just got at a new
it's
gym.
very hard.
I'm at a self-made fitness training facility or something like that. It's
Yeah,
on.
it's usually more than 2 words.
Yeah, yeah. And I was telling them earlier, I was like, I pulled up in the parking lot because they got 2 facilities. You do some working out on one, and the other one has like more of the machines. I pull in, and there's 2 Lambo trucks right in front of each other. It's an S-Class Mercedes, and it's all the G-Wagons, all of this type of stuff. And I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is way too expensive
Yeah.
for me and my blood. I know it is. But the trainer I'm working with, he's an old friend. I hosted his reception of his wedding. Completely forgot about that. That's what I'm saying. I
boy.
forget about all the stuff
Wow.
I did. And he's working with me, gave me a great price. And I'm very excited about what is going to happen. We were on the tour this weekend, and they were talking about like Chico Bean is the best dressed in comedy. And I was like, I could be the best dressed. And I was like, they was like, no, Tia, you could do it too. And I was like, I don't want to buy clothes to show off where I'm at now. So I'm just gonna hold
That's
off.
every fat person's
Listen,
excuse.
I don't
All
want
fat
to
people
wait
say
till
this.
I-
Yeah,
Lose
yeah.
a cup of weight.
All my
Yeah.
best clothes is when I was like at a large.
This is true.
Like I don't want to buy clothes
I
my
don't.
size because I want to lose weight.
I do, and I'm going to. I'm going to. Every week I throw away like two or three shirts.
Nigga, don't throw
That's
it. Give it
forcing
to me.
I don't. think
Please,
I-
you got great clothes. I would love to be your Goodwill.
All right. Well, I got a stack. I got a stack of jackets that I'm about to get rid of right now.
Give
So
it
I'm
to me.
out
I don't
here
care if
doing
they sure. I'm rolling it up, homie.
I
You got great fashion.
Keon, don't say shit.
What?
Because Keon been
He's
fit
not
his
saying
whole
I'm bigger-
life. Nah, he's been fit his whole life. He's just hearing us talk about weight problems. He's like,
You like, Dion, you
can't
bigger than
relate.
him?
I don't
No,
know.
I'm just Dion's optimism.
About fitting the clothes.
Nigga.
He said you're bigger than
It's
him.
about to look like a t-shirt on you.
What's happening? That's his outfit. Goddamn right he is.
He's like, give me the clothes. I said, and what are you gonna do? Do you have dolls at home that you're gonna dress? Why?
Here's the thing. I'm
Why
gonna lose
you-
the weight. to
Like
get
not
to
even the
the
weight, the
So
height.
y'all both-
There's,
you gonna
there's
lose weight.
nothing-
You can't fit the clothes. You gonna lose weight to fit his old.
there's nothing close.
What you gonna do about the length?
I
That's
gotta
what I'm
keep rolling
saying.
it up.
The
You
height
think this shirt
difference.
fits? I rolled it up, nigga. This shirt's up right here.
There were so many things. There's so many
Last week.
factors. And I was just like, oh.
Oh, well, some of the things I want to talk about, Keon. There are so many people who can never get a read on you. They think that you're always upset or you
Yeah.
don't like them because your energy is so low key.
He waits for it.
But that's just who you are. How has that or has that caused any conflict in your marriage or when you were dating or
Oh, yeah.
How has it caused it and how have you overcome it or how did you guys get over it?
She be big mad.
Mm-hmm.
I just want everybody to know. You know, they care more than us.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. You know, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. I realized I had the shirt on. She cares about other people's opinion of me more than I do. I'd be like, because I bank on, like, whether it's off stage, on stage, once you meet me in person, you'll like me. You know
but I feel like
I'm
you
not
only
tripping
give
on-
that comics get the best of you. The liveliness of you. I feel like people in passing, if they don't meet you on stage, will probably think the same thing because you're not very talkative to people you don't know.
I'm not.
And that's just who you are.
Yeah, I'm chilling. But you know what it is too? Is like I had to explain this to her. Like, you know what we do? People look for you to
Tell jokes.
to
be on.
not even just be on. Not even tell jokes, but just be like, yeah, be big. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not big. And then when you do this for a living, when attention's on you a lot, when it's time to not do that, I don't want attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, you know, I can go unnoticed. I can be in the corner, quiet. I'm okay with that.
When you
And
met the wife, were you up?
I was on stage.
Okay, so she saw you, but even on stage, you're not super big energy.
Mm-mm.
So I'm just trying to understand, did she meet you under false pretense? Like you
No, she just
energy
gets
was
me
big?
at home though. At home, I'm the loudest person in the house. I'm
Really?
goofy with the kid. Yeah, I'm an animal
So
at
you're
home.
ferrying at home.
I am a, you know what it is? I am when I'm comfortable.
Introverted, extrovert.
Yeah, like I could be a people person all day. Like you catch me with, around friends like at a game night or, with the family. I'm big and loud and blah, blah. But strangers, I'm just trying to read the room. My mom said I was always like that as a kid too. When I walk into spaces, I'm very quiet and observant.
I thought something was wrong with him.
I just want to
Tell you
read the room and see like who's going, what's happening, who all there. You know what I mean? What's your intentions? What's
I
your
also heard you different with a little alcohol in your system. I heard,
Oh, I'm a wild boy.
I heard you a monster with that alcohol.
Wild boy, right?
With that sauce.
I'm a wild boy.
Okay.
Wild boy.
Dion, you always seem to be, for the most part, consistent. No matter what arena we're in, what we're doing, you are always a good time. How did that affect your dating and love life? Did you always date people that were up there, or did you pay people that were more like Keon, and you had them come
the
down?
opposite. When I'm out here, I'm up performing. I'm tap dancing for y'all niggas right now. But at home, I'm really chill.
Really?
Yeah, and it takes a lot for me to get out because I have to bring myself to this point.
I was about to ask you how you maintain that. Because every time I see you, you're like, I'm like, this nigga has energy.
Man.
Yeah.
No, if I'm in the car, I'm quiet. I just came back from Louisiana, dropped my daughter off to college. They didn't speak the whole 16 hours. Just driving, vibing to music. Huh? Yeah, it was just like.
I'm like that at home too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting more loose at home, but for me, the kid and Farron are so crazy.
Yeah.
Like they're entertaining to me.
Right.
So I sit back and watch and I laugh, but then I also think to myself, I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
Especially as a comic or entertainer, when we're up all day or we're filming or podcasting or whatever, when we get home, sometimes the last thing we want to do is talk. But I also had to tell myself, it's like, well, damn, I'm giving 100% to the world.
See, I'm the
They
opposite.
deserve-
I'd rather give
Yeah.
them everything and give the people. Like, y'all take what you get. You take the leftovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a couple, you asked me about the couple. She's so big
Yeah.
that I feel like
Connie's a fool.
it would be too hot for us to both come in. Now we had that obnoxious,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that
Like,
obnoxious
these
couple.
niggas are a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm like, and I told her, and she gets kind of offended, but I'm like, no, everybody loves you though.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a big personality, but it's not like annoying.
Yeah.
But I can't come in and double down, on that. That's too much. That's too much. So, and I love being this role. So I'll be the quiet one. You can be the big one.
You're
That's
the straight
fine.
man.
Yeah, I was like, that's fine.
That's
you
funny.
can yell at the
You're
strangers.
the straight man. Your
and-
wife is the wacky one.
Yeah, I'm
all
like,
over
go
the
ahead,
place.
man.
Connie is funny,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
She's been on More to the Story and a couple of different things. She got jokes. It's always cool to meet somebody's wife that got the jokes, and it's not like her jokes are so different from your personality. So she was just like that from the beginning. Is that one of the things that attracted you to her?
No, she was just fine.
We get to the personality.
Yeah, I meant that. That shit came later. I was just like, that bitch bad. Like that's as far as I thought that through. I was just like, I want that.
Yeah.
I feel you on
You know, that was it.
Hey, that's
And
real
then-
shit, though. I get it.
And then as we started talking, I was like, oh, she's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, she cool.
I lucked out.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. I was like, you know
She's
what?
checking more and more boxes,
Yeah, and the more
baby.
boxes, I was like, you know what? Not pulling out of this anymore. You know what I mean? That's
I'm pulling out of this
Anymore?
Like, did you? Absolutely. Yeah.
You, all of it? All of it.
yeah.
I should click my heels together.
You know, I was like, this happening.
Heads are back.
Tristan, how is dating when you are chasing a dream? Because I know how it was for me. Like, Farron didn't understand initially when she moved out here the process of a comedian staying at the club, even though you might not be going to 2 or 3 clubs. I might go to 2 or 3 clubs a night and not go up at any of them, but doing the politics thing and wanting to write and having to get that alone time. We vacation together and we know, like, we literally vacation and just was like, I just need time alone.
Yes,
We'll be in the house and don't say anything to each other for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because just need that break away from LA. But when you're chasing a dream, one that has no guarantee or no blueprint of success, how do you manage that with dating someone that's not in the entertainment industry? And how do you effectively communicate why you're doing what you're doing, why you need so much time, and certain things that you're not willing to compromise on?
It takes a lot of patience on both of our behalves to make a whole. Because, you know, I need to effectively communicate that. Like sometimes, like for example, shooting the show. Like I'm in a different country. Sometimes I can be on set for 12, 14 hours. Sometimes I'm not on set and I get time to myself. And so just communicating like this is what's going on. Kind of like, you know, something you were talking about another time was talking about like the calendar and things that are coming up. It's just kind of like, here's what's going on. Like, or this is what my week looks like. Can we make time for each other here, here, and here, and here? It's just communicating all that. That's helpful. And also the patience on my behalf with her maybe not understanding my world and her, you know, patience comes from her with, you know, figuring out what she doesn't know and then asking questions. It's all about discovery. And also just giving each other grace. Because it's like, if, you know, knock on wood, if, you know, things were to go away, then it's like, so now what? How do we show up for each other? How do we promote each other? How do we hold each other accountable as well? But also just still to show love to one another. So it's a balance.
There it is. Dion, do you think that you are a good communicator?
Great question.
Because you sound like a politician.
Because
I'm glad you asked.
Yes. Because I was gonna lie to you and say absolutely.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody who's familiar to who I am and my personality,
Yeah.
I figured like you should know. I don't have to tell you these things. So it's that little childish like, you know that I like X, Y, and Z. So if I tell you this, I'm giving you a cheat sheet for something you should already know. You should already had the test of this. But if it's somebody that I'm new with, I try to not give them the answer so quick to see how they will react to certain things. And they'll be like, oh, FYI, I don't like this. I don't like this. I appreciate you doing this. So now I'm kind of like, instead of giving them my cheat sheet, I figure them out first to see how we react without any sort of communication.
Is that to see where their patience is and how perceptive they are? Or is that just like a little evil thing that you have created to watch them in despair?
No, because you know, in early relationships, you tell somebody what you don't like, they start to mold into this person to fit your liking. So you're like, let me see how you operate.
Right. Okay.
To see if I can tolerate this. And then and it was like, that's not a deal breaker, but I'm gonna let you know that this bothers me.
That's great that you're able to like say, hey, I didn't like this, this, and this.
Right.
Is that something that you've always been, or is that something that you learned from a previous relationship? Because I know that I thought I was good at communicating and I was good at keeping surface communication. But like when it came to the hard conversations that Farron and I had to have, I was trash.
Yeah.
I said on the last show, like I was one of those people, it would be tension in the house 3-4 days. Because I ain't ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
I still want to be mad. I want to be mad for a couple more hours.
Especially if somebody apologize too quick.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
Not getting out of this. No.
Whoa.
What does that do for you?
I'll be like, yes, thank you.
That's what it took.
Hell yeah.
Hold on. That's Tristan just asked a great question. He's like, what does that do for me? Absolutely nothing but giving me the satisfaction of knowing I still can get my way in that. It was completely fruitless. It was completely unproductive. It was a grown man acting out.
Yeah. I want you to hurt.
Throwing a chance. My feelings were hurt. I don't like what you said to me, and I'm gonna let you know for not saying anything for the next 3 days. It was a tantrum. It was absolutely a tantrum. And I just thank God she had the patience to deal with that childishness. Because she could have left. Yeah. She could have left. But I'm so much better than what I was. And it's all thanks to her and therapy. But I've definitely had those. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not hungry. So you don't want to eat what I cook? No, I don't want to eat. Okay, fine. I just would like to know that you don't go eat it. Fine, I won't never eat again.
Yeah.
I'll never eat in this house again. I'll starve.
I'm gonna eat air.
Yeah. I'm never eating again. That's the length that I would go to.
Yeah.
You know, but I never really raised my voice. It was just unreasonable stuff. How do you handle those uncomfortable conversations? Because I feel like
I'm gonna address it.
Well, I was going to say your lack of, and granted, I don't know how you are at home. You kind of told us it's different, but your demeanor seems so chill. Does she ever get frustrated that you don't seem more up in arms? Because there were times where Farron would get frustrated with me because I don't yell. I don't really raise my voice. And the moment I feel cornered, I shut down. Conversation's over. We ain't talking about this no more until I'm ready to talk about it again. So she took that and also other things of me not caring as much, but it's just I care so much, I don't want to raise my voice. So I grew up in a house with a lot of domestic violence, and when people raise their voices, then the violence started. Yeah. So I've just always been cautious of that. So how are you in those uncomfortable conversations?
No, I'm fine enough. I had to have patience for her to get her ideas together. So when it comes to communicating, first of all, I'm staying on the point. You ain't finna Jedi mind trick. You know how they like to start bringing up. No, we're talking about this. Right. We can address that other shit later. But right now, we're gonna solve this. Yeah, and don't try to. Well, last week I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And but the other, we're not talking about that. I'm very good at staying on point. We're gonna solve this, and then after this is solved, sure, you can come at me with all the other stuff. Yeah. But I'm lasered in. Yeah. I'm lasered in, and then but we started communicating better when I gave her time to. One, we're fast. We process fast. So I'm like, if she got a problem, let's solve this right now. Let's talk about it right now. But she was more like you with the emotionally, I can't. And I'm like, hey, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. You can tell me anything. Like, who cares? Let's just knock it out. And she couldn't do it. And what made me really change how I communicated with her, one time we were having a discussion, wasn't making sense at all. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, it's just different. And I was like, no, what you just said was this. And now you're saying this. But these things, that's a hypocritical. I'm very analytical, and I was like, "That's a hypocritical stance."
Having a conversation with,
and she hates it, and she hated it, and because she couldn't emotionally just be all over the place. Because I was like, "No, that doesn't." So finally, she went upstairs, storms upstairs. 2 hours later, she goes, "The reason why it's different is because A, B, and C." And I was like, "That makes complete sense." Yeah.
So she needed a moment.
She had to get her thoughts together because when she just starts talking through emotion, the shit don't make sense. And I'm very no, that you can't just say that. That doesn't. So one, I gave her a longer time to say what she got to say, and then I started asking more questions. So she say something, I'm like, so what you're saying is. What I'm hearing is this is that what you mean?
Probing questions.
Yeah, and she was like, no, and she uses words wrong a lot, and that's where a lot of shit was going on. So she meant to say this, but used the wrong, but by definition, that's what that means. So you said this, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
She said, I am clerically upset.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, no, you know what I meant. No, I don't. No, I don't know because you're using the word wrong. You can't say I like apples. And I'm like, okay, since when you? And then no, I meant oranges. Well, nigga, you said apples. I didn't.
I already bought the apples.
I didn't know. Yeah. So I started asking more questions, and I started just being more. I just really started chilling because She expressed to me, she was like, I feel like you're always trying to trip me up. And I said, actually, you tripped yourself up. But
you're a dick.
But let me actually, I will give you a chance to,
if your girl, all of us, if your girl's 100% wrong, and you know you had the right answer, how do you cautiously, carefully, without adding another argument, by saying you're wrong?
Well, we've gotten to the point now where I don't have to do that anymore. She comes in, if she she's
loud and wrong.
No, if we're wrong, we admit, like we're quick to apologize now. We're quick to, I got back Sunday. We had a little thing, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the gym, because I could feel myself getting to that point where it's like, nigga, I need to go work this off. You know what I mean? So she was like, there's no reason for you to leave. What is your issue? I said this. I was like, what is your issue? She was like this. I was like, I apologize. She was like, I apologize. We're good. We fucked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, boom.
As simple as that,
done,
folks.
Done. But it took us.
Something like that doesn't happen overnight.
It took us. I've been with her 10 years.
Yeah.
And, I talk about it on stage. We just became best friends 2 years ago. Them first 8 was like,
that was
clash, because it was just like, I don't understand you. I don't understand you. The last 2, through a lot of communication and just how do you talk, how do you feel? Now it's like, now that's my dog. Yeah. So now, even when we're about to, that conversation we had Sunday 2 years ago would have been a 3-day argument.
Yeah.
And mostly because she's, emotional about it. And I'm just like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, I'm not. But now it was a 5-minute conversation and then we done.
I feel like you show your emotion through maybe being a caregiver, provider. You don't really seem the display or affectionate type verbally, maybe to the kids, but you seem very rigid in the way you love. Is that a thing or?
No, not with with the kids. It's hugs and kisses all day. Her, it's more probably physical than words. But when I saw her responses to words and to different things, so now I just do it all the time. Yeah. Just because I know it makes her feel good. So just all day, I'm just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Just,
It's crazy the stuff that we find out. Farron and I were doing one of those conversation card decks. And I've talked about this on different episodes. There was a card she pulled that said, what have you accepted that you would never get from your mate? And she was like, PDA. I was like, what do you mean? She was like when we were walking, I've accepted that you just won't hold my hand. And that shit hurt me. Because this entire time, up until that point, typically when we're out, I'm walking in front of her and the kid to try to protect them from people that might come up with their cameras out, all on some weird shit. Right. But she was right. I would always be in front of them leading. Every now and then I might, reach back and grab her. But for the most part, I just walk that way. I've always been that way. Just keep my head on the swivel, playing out 3 mirrors when I'm driving. Like, that's just what I do. And that was something that was so small to her, that meant the world to her, and was so easy for me to change that I immediately switched it on. But it was like...
Did she express it, though?
Ever? Yeah. No, before?
Yeah.
Well, I had talked about it. She was like, why you be walking in front of us like that? I was like, I've told her.
But did she express that she wants that?
Right. She did.
Okay.
When we were doing the cards, she did.
Yes. It was just when you did the cards. But before that, you had no idea.
Well, I knew she was very affectionate. Farron, she wouldn't mind doing the kissy face stuff in public. But I'd always told her, I was like, I ain't finna be doing that shit. I look sweet out here. I'm all preoccupied with kissing you and somebody looking at me like, oh, this nigga sweet. We can rob him. He ain't even paying attention. What? And I always had that.
This lover boy.
Because I grew up, I moved out at 14.
Right.
And from 14 to almost 16, I was staying with people in their garages, basements, attics, wherever I could sleep at. I didn't have a home, and I knew if I looked vulnerable, I was an easy target because I was a kid and I was alone. And so from there, I took that to high school. I took it to college. I never created space for people to help or love me too much because I feel like that made me look vulnerable. And it wasn't until we had that conversation I realized how much. That don't apply right now. I see what you're trying to do.
But you got the gun tattoos,
I see what you do. Don't you do it. Don't you give it to him.
You can just wear a midriff.
No, because I was going to say it. So I'm glad
you wear a midriff and like, oh, that nigga got guns. Hold on. Let's not around his ass.
He got it on him. Literally.
What happened?
I was asking because that used to be our issue. I was like, you're hoarding all these feelings that I didn't know. Just tell me.
Yes.
Like one day she told me, she was like, you never take walks with me. So I was like, all right, that's an easy.
She loves to take walks.
I said, that's an easy, just tell me that. Yeah. So then I started taking walks, and those have been the dopest thing because you walk for miles, you're going to have a lot of conversation. So we talk a lot. So them walks have been fantastic because we just be talking. catching up on the day, sharing stories, whatever. Just
I didn't even,
but I said you could have just. A lot of our arguments used to come from you could have just told me that, and she held everything. Now, granted, her childhood it's a lot of shit. So that was another thing. We came from two different worlds. I came from a 2-parent loving home. She came from chaos. Blah blah. So how we view things. She didn't want to talk because she thought every discussion was an argument.
Yeah, that
and
was
I
me.
said, no,
that was me.
We're just talking.
That was me.
And so she was like, the reason why I held stuff in because I didn't want to cause an argument or have you, I was like, no, you're supposed to let me know these things I can. And then so once she accepted that, oh no, we're just communicating. Now she'll tell me anything and we'll talk. And then it's an easy fix, but she held everything and then she get drunk, blow up.
Yeah.
I'm like, where this come from? You know what I mean? I was hoarding this for 3 years. I was like, why did you just tell me that? Yeah. So now I can't. Now I got no complaints. Like I
get it.
Story, bro.
How do you like to be loved, Tristan? How do you like to be loved, and how do you like to communicate when it comes to someone that you're dating or potentially looking at for dating?
Well, the way I like to be loved is like words of affirmation is huge for me. I remember when I was.
You got a great beard, bro.
I have a great beard.
Yeah.
We complimenting the fuck out of you right now.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it the whole time. Yeah, it lays down. Like our shit is nappy.
Well,
yours,
I don't know why I had to be in that.
Because I was looking at the side view.
It's not really nappy.
But yours lays.
That's my natural.
It looks like a hair and makeup artist.
Right.
A symbol.
See, he's got.
Hey, don't do me.
Well, now I'm seeing. I'm like, he's making us look terrible.
Goes down the line.
Yeah.
As far as good.
Oh shit! I'm the worst.
You're at the worst. I'm not gonna hold you. But it's okay because you're trying.
I try. I got the peppermint oil and the avocado oil trying to make things happen.
I just want to lay down. How you get to lay down?
Brushing it.
Yeah. I gotta get mine laid down. Yeah. But continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to compliment. I just wanted to give you those words of affirmation.
I appreciate it.
No problem, bro.
That's exactly what I was looking for. This was a trick. This is great. I'm so glad I'm here.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, my mom. That's the first person who loved me. That's the first person I loved. And she gave me those words of affirmation. She was also a teacher for 30 years. Retired recently. And so like I remember one time, for some reason, the class I was in elementary school, they were giving out like certificates for whatever. And almost everybody in the class got one. I didn't get anything. And it made me feel a way. It made me feel like I wasn't recognized. It made me feel like I wasn't doing a good job. And my mom, one morning, she had me come downstairs. She was like, I got something for you. And she gave me a trophy, and it was called the Mommy Award.
Wow.
And it was that recognition. And then she would always just speak life into me and speak love into me. And so like, I just naturally, that's how I like to receive love is words of affirmation. And of course that's followed up by other things, but words of affirmation is that number one. And then what was the other thing you asked about?
Participation trophies do work.
They do.
Interesting.
They do.
How do you like to be loved, and how do you communicate? How do you do those hard conversations when it's time to have them?
So when I have to have the hard conversations, I fall back on like my like retail training. When it's like, this is how you get feedback. Ask them if they're available, and then let them know the thing that you're going to talk to them about, and then talk about the thing, and then ask for their feedback and ask how it makes them feel. So that's like when I have to do something very difficult, I like, okay, there's no other way to do this. Hey, babe, are you free right now? I'd like to talk about the thing that happened yesterday. Can we talk about that? Cool. So when you said this and when this happened, this is how it made me feel. And like, I know that intentionally maybe you meant to do this, but it made me feel this way. So
that's great. I mean, you said it at first. It sounded very corporate.
What if she was like, take me off the call list? Don't talk to me anymore. I'm having dinner with my family. This is very rude of you right now.
Take me off the call list. That's very mature, very and not very threatening at all. Like it's hard to feel disrespected or threatening when you come that way to a person. That seems very, very cautious, but also inviting and accepting of what the other person has to say when you present it like that. Now, is that something that you've always done? Did you learn that from past mistakes? Did you learn it from therapy?
Well, so that, I mean, again, it was from learning retail and how to communicate, because they were teaching us how to communicate with customers and each other. And I was like, well, I can use this in all relationships. Before that, I would not communicate. I think I would shut down a little bit. I would just kind of like hoard those feelings and hoard and I don't get angry. I just get sad and disappointed,
Mm-hmm.
and just like an avoidant. So I would avoid conflicts. And I'm working on that, avoiding conflict. Now it's like, okay, no, talk about this shit because it's gonna come up later on.
It's some of the hardest thing to do, but I get it.
Because it's like if I don't want to bring this up later because then it's gonna be like, why didn't you bring this up before? That's what I was telling you before. Why didn't you bring this up?
You need time. You need time to register some like when you like, did that offend me or am I just taking it the wrong way? And you gotta let it soak in. You might chop it up with one of your friends like, hey, she said this to me, man. I don't know how I feel about this.
You know what the hard
That
part
ain't how
about
dudes
that
do it.
is,
Dudes be like, nigga, am I tripping?
right? But that's why I feel like a therapist comes into play because unless you have guys that you're really close to and they know how you love, and they know how you receive things, then going to them could be a negative thing because if they are like they them niggas, like, yeah, man, am I tripping?
Told you leave that bitch a long time ago.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's important to go to the right people with that or the therapist so you can get sometimes an unbiased opinion, but also that reinforcement of like, no, if that made you feel a certain way, it's not anything that you're tripping off of, and there's nothing wrong with bringing up how something made you feel. I feel like a lot of times in society, guys, even though we say we're different from everybody else, we still fall victim mentally to a lot of the societal norms that they place on men and how we shouldn't be so emotional and we shouldn't be so vocal and we shouldn't be so in touch with our feelings. And then you have all of these posts on Twitter about calling men sassy who take a shower, calling men sassy who like
That
dessert.
be funny.
It's just like,
it's ridiculous.
it's funny, but at the same time,
ridiculous.
like if you're dealing with something psychologically in a relationship or you're trying to put the work in to be a better partner, to be a better spouse, to be more open to receiving the criticism and the love and allowing space for people to love you and help you. If you're dealing with that, like psychologically, you see it, it's funny, but it also like, man, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be. And it's kind of productive depending on what level you're in with your growth. Because it can have a negative effect on you, especially if that's all you see day in and day out. Like, when that first came out, man, everybody was coming out with one. And so for like a week, you sassy if you celebrate your birthday. You sassy if you say excuse me after your birthday. Like, man, wait, what?
Yeah. But I always consider the source. Like anything on the internet, I'm like, who's saying it? And do I give a flying about this person? Clearly, like I'm not gonna listen to a dude who don't wash his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, bro,
water touch my booty hole.
Like, I'm like, I'm sorry that whatever happened to you happened, and where you refuse to wipe your booty now, but that's ridiculous. Like,
what? I can't use wet wipes. Why would I want anything wet between my butt?
Like, why?
I use a bidet and I love it.
Oh, I got one because of you. It's the greatest thing. Now, what sucks is traveling.
I know,
because they don't have it. So I be in these hotels excuse me.
You feel dirty?
I got a travel bidet.
I need someone to come up and splash water on my booty.
It's just really just a water bottle.
Where's the water gonna fall back onto my hand? I don't.
You have to go underneath and just squeeze move real quick. That's a guy. All right, like put your legs up. It's a weird thing.
Remember in the '90s when you like on the sidelines they had those water bottles and go into football helmets with the curve. I might bring one of those on the road just to squeeze. Just put it on the side and squeeze it.
Move, my boy. That might be the move.
Go to Big Five.
Facing to it.
It's aiming.
Because you miss sometimes. You miss. But then sometimes you hit it directly. You're like, hey, I didn't sign up for that. You relax, water. That's assault.
Consent. Mean anything to you?
Calm down.
Before we get out of here, I would love to hear something from each of us that we've learned from a relationship that has either helped us in future relationships or helped us in life in general. Because I love to hear how Black men have accepted criticism and applied it in a positive manner, and it was a positive reaction for them.
You know what, man? This is a tough one because should we take?
He's a politician, I swear.
No, man, because I'm
another good question to hear.
No. Because hear me out, because y'all gonna fuck with this one right here.
Put it on for this.
Should you take the good and the bad from a previous relationship and make that your template, or each relationship start from scratch of what you don't like and do like? That's a tough one. So this it's like I was gonna say, take the positive from the from the past relationship and make that be your, I'm like, no, that's not good. Well, then take what you don't like, I'm like, that's still not good because you don't know if it was just that person that irked you on that particular thing. So I was going to say that. So I was like, this is a tough one. I don't really, I was gonna use it as a template of like, know your do's and don'ts, you know, your standards, your preferences, and just stick to those guns. That's the only way I can say.
Yeah.
I think there's always a lesson though, even in a bad relationship. Like when, let's say I remember dating this chick and I was like Tristan, I hated confrontation and stuff like that. And she would always find a way to circle back and say I was gaslighting her and that I was doing something wrong and all that type of stuff. And that made me recognize what I didn't like in someone playing a victim. And it's you can't play the victim when I've told you everything up top.
Word.
So I told you I'm coming in this. Hey, this is my situation.
Yeah.
I can't spend a lot of time. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. Anything that you have a problem with, we can always talk about that type of stuff. And I had done all of this, but this person was still flipping on me like I was. And I'm like, no, you're the one who lied about things.
Right.
You're the one who went out of their way to hide and manipulate certain situations. And because I didn't like confrontation, I just was like, all right, cool. I made my point. I feel better about it. I'm going to let it go. When I should have like, no, you lied about this. And I told you, as forthcoming as I am, lying is something I don't tolerate.
Wow.
And I should have ended things immediately there.
Yeah.
I should have knew my worth and what I could do and what she was known to do and accepted it for who she was. When people show you who they are,
Right.
most times believe them.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to change. There are cases where a person realizes that their behavior or their patterns are detrimental to not just their relationship, but like in life in general. But a lot of times, people are who they are.
Yeah.
Especially if you're 35, you're on the other side of 35.
Right.
That's a life habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a life habit.
Yeah.
Like,
That's you.
Yeah, that's who you. Especially if that's all. If you are committed to a person who can only date you, right? Not marry you.
Oh,
It's like, why would they change for that?
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not necessarily a lifetime. So I completely understand that now more, and I will always like know my worth in any friendship, any work relationship, any type of thing. It's like, this ain't something I want to continue to deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So that's what I just saying. Like even the bad things were a lesson to learn and grow from, in my opinion, when it comes to past relationships. But
I didn't have any past relationships. So I was
you was just out here just smashing them?
Oh yeah, I was for the
Okay, that
streets.
makes sense. Okay.
And so I was learning in real time with her, which is something I had to explain to her. Like when she was, like, how do you not know to do this or that? I was like, I've never dealt with anybody. So you have to teach me.
Did you open doors at least?
No, I was a gentleman.
Okay.
Like I knew that stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as like, so the reason why it took me so long to grow in my relationship and even in my friendships is, when I got older, is because I never had to sit in anything. Like ever. There was no reason for me to do it because I wasn't connected with anybody. Like, so like why I gotta do like any slight nigga, I'm out. And the next one's coming. Like I have no
Right.
You know what I mean? So then you go from that life for your whole life to this person that you're trying to build with, and you're not just gonna dip. And so now I gotta sit and actually deal with this issue. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this shit. So I need you to have patience with me that I don't know what I'm doing.
She's the first person you live with? She's the first person you live with?
Yeah, other than my, my teammates, brothers, Wow. And then like first person I dated, like I didn't have girlfriends.
Wow.
Like first.
You
So
learned a lot.
I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing.
Those are the first 8 years you were talking about.
Huh?
That was the first 8 years you were talking
Yeah, I was
about.
like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You struck gold,
like
bro.
this. So I was like, you have to, have the patience with me to, and if something bothers you, or how you want to communicate, because 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, bye.
Did you reach out to your dad at any point during that time and ask him for advice, or did he have a different approach, so different from yours that you didn't want to go to him for help?
I talked to my siblings a lot. My dad, we jokingly say we're raising him now. So like my dad, we go to for certain things.
Okay.
For other things I talk to, especially Keith, because he's very level-headed. He's and he's always been like the more in touch with his feelings one. He's like, my little one's a hothead, and then me, I'm just like, whatever. And then, but my brother's like, well, sometimes you need to do,
Yeah.
And my dad, we didn't go to my dad for relationship stuff because, he's on the second marriage. So his relationship, like, see, because these bitches be, you know what I mean? Like, he might come with that. So I'm like, nah, bro. But
She go here, you go here.
right. This is what I did, you know what I mean?
Whoa.
So it's like, nah, I really had to learn, as I went, and we were learning together. I was learning that, and she was learning how to deal with something that's not toxic. So it's a lot of times she'd be like, I don't like that you're so, like, I'm used to this.
Right.
And it's not chaotic. This is weird. Why isn't this chaotic? Why aren't you,
That's such a scary
and
thing.
I'm like, nah, I'm chilling, bro. Like, we have a happy. So, I almost hate my birthday or Father's Day because the stuff she writes about me is like, I feel pressure. She was like, this is my first example of a good man. Like, you showed me, blah, blah. I didn't have no father. You showed me what a great father is. You showed me what a great husband. I'm like, hey, chill out. I'm a fuck up. I'm going to mess up. Like, relax. Relax.
Spill some milk.
Relax.
Now what do you say?
Yeah.
But-
level
Open
this
the
out.
bread.
But yeah, so I tell her all the time.
Open up bread.
I was like, you've helped me become a better human.
Yeah.
Because I was forced to look at myself a lot. And so before, when I could just be like, they tripping. Now our relationship honestly got better too. I tell people all the time when I stopped worrying about what she needed to do. Our relationship got super dope when I said, I'm just going to focus on my shit, my BS, the stuff I need to fix. And when I just started working on my stuff, she just naturally followed suit. When she didn't have to be defensive no more, when she didn't feel like she was being judged, when she didn't feel like, and when she felt protected, when she felt,
that right there.
when she felt like he's holding it down, not just financially, but everything, she naturally was just like, okay, I can trust to let him, even though I always led the family, but how we are now, she is very like, I even see the way she looks at me like, this is my husband. He got it. Like, we're good on emotional, financial, every front.
Yeah.
He's got us. And it changed how she was too. So like, but it was on me.
Come on, big boy talk.
It was on me to stop worrying about her shit. All I ever did was like, you. And I'm like, nah, you, nigga. Like, what you need to work on? Like, worry about it goes to when you're a kid. Worry about yourself.
Yeah.
And when I started doing that, it helped us become a better couple because we were no longer tit for tatting or everything. We just like, how can we be the best version of ourselves to be the best, team that we can be. And so now, we rocking. Like now we firing on all cylinders. So it's like
having a woman's trust is unparalleled to anything else.
Yeah.
You can love anybody. I love pizza. I want to be in a relationship with it. Trust it to make good decisions for me. But a woman's trust is different.
Yeah.
Like when they put their trust of the safety of their life, their well-being, you the leadership, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. Tristan, what things have you learned from past relationships that you could possibly move forward with or, even expand in other areas of your life?
I like what Dion said about the template matching because that's also something that I learned in retail. It's like, you can't take every issue and apply that to something just because you see like a familiar situation. So I would say like the template matching, I know not to do that in relationships just because it's like, well, I don't know. You're wearing Passionate Kisses Bath and Body Works, and last time somebody else was wearing Passionate Kisses Bath and Body Works, they were crazy. So I know not to do that. But the other thing is like autonomy. In my earlier relationships, like when I was in college and then my, throughout my 20s and even early 30s, I would do the thing where I would just match to whatever that person said they wanted or whatever that they liked. I'd be like, okay, I can be that person. I was just a chameleon. And just becoming whatever it was. I was just shapeshifter. I was just doing that. But it's like, okay, but now who am I?
Losing your identity.
And the same thing to what you said, Keon, about as far as like worrying about your own shit, minding your business. I learned to mind my own business too. Let me work on me and be the best version of myself so I can show up for you. And now I can make space. Like I've done all the things I need to do for me while I'm showing up for you. Now I've got even more space on my plate to do whatever it is that you need from me. I go apartment hunting with you. I give you feedback on the work stuff. Like, cool. So it's just taking everything that I've learned and just being, it's like you're aggregating all this information and being like, okay, cool. Now remember all these things from these relationships and how can I be the best person for myself and for you?
Yeah. Another word of affirmation. Your vocabulary is fantastic.
Yeah, I heard about 3 or 4.
And then I was like, let me Google.
Yeah.
The aggregated and autonomy, like having the autonomy.
Yeah.
Oh, you just on cruise control, huh?
Yeah.
He said you on cruise control.
Yeah.
Sit back and let it go.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't need to know what I just sit what you need to know.
I was like, I got to get my kids daddy coaching or something because this nigga has been amazing.
Yeah.
But and to piggyback off what you said too, I think it was very important what you said, like as far as having the space to help when you take care of yourself, you like when you relieve so much. I now have the capacity to do everything else because I'm good. Yeah. Like I'm chilling. Like so, what you need? You know what you got? What y'all doing? Yeah, let me.
Yeah, and know the difference when it comes to that template thing. When he's like, if somebody's like, yeah, I love going to operas, and you're like, I hate going to operas. But at the same time, is that a good thing? Because like maybe I can kind of test myself to see if I like it. Because it's like that. It's like you're compromising on something you don't like versus taking a chance on something. See what I'm saying? So it's a thin line right there.
It is. I was just talking to a friend about this because the small space I create for people to help me, some of it is not knowing if this is a challenge from God to stick it out and push myself to the next level. And some of it is pride and ego. And thinking, I got it, and he ain't bring me this far to leave me at this spot alone.
Right.
So knowing when to ask for help sometimes for me is a struggle because I don't know if this is something that I'm supposed to go through to grow and learn from it. Or if this really is a situation where I need some goddamn help.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know that as a man when you're basing it off of societal norms, you're basing it off of, past experiences, you're basing it off of whatever the case may be. It's difficult to gauge it. You just really have to take it case by case.
Are you an oldest child?
I'm my mother's oldest.
Okay.
My younger sister is below me, but my dad had two older children before me, but I didn't grow up with them.
Okay.
I grew up like an only child.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up on my own, and then I had a son, and then I was a dad, then I wasn't a dad.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Because I think when you were saying that, I'm the oldest, grandchild, child, everything, and I'm so used to taking care of everybody else, I don't ask for help either.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I got to carry these loads to protect everybody else. So I was like,
and ladies, let the man say I need help. And if you say, what do you mean you need help? Like, fuck it, I don't need no help no more. Like, hey, sweetheart, I'm kind of being pulled in so many different directions. Is it possible that you can pick up the kids? Why I gotta, fuck it, man, I got it. I can't be vulnerable with you.
Sometimes it's the opposite for me, where like women would offer me help and I just wouldn't want it.
And you need it.
Sometimes where I'm like, I need to figure this out on my own. I don't.
Yeah.
Where it's like sometimes I need that tunnel vision so I can focus and be like, okay, cool. What is the answer? But then also it's like, nigga, accept the help.
Yeah.
Man.
And be like, well, this is what's going on. So you can get someone else's outside opinion, aggregating information from somebody else.
What the finger?
Another thing for me, it was very hard for me to delegate work because if somebody dropped the ball, now I'm mad at this person.
Yeah.
But if I carry this whole load, if it falls through, then it's on me. So if I ask for her to do something and she doesn't do it necessarily the way I would, right? Now I have to think about how to approach the situation, how to tell her this is how I wouldn't have done it, and this is what I would have did instead, and also express my disappointment without like just ripping her to shreds.
Yeah.
So that was a very hard thing for me to do, is like releasing the reins and asking for help because I prefer the way I do it because I know it's gonna get done. And I've operated in the fight or flight or survival mode for so long that even when I'm not in it, I'm anxious because I'm waiting for something to happen.
Wait for the other shoot.
Yeah. And it's hard to get out of that mindset. It's been very difficult. I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it, but that has been one of my main challenges is getting out of that.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
I followed this guy on Instagram and he does words of the day, really big words, and I was gonna try to go and look at it real quick. and see if I can find one. And
Try
I
to
was gonna
squeeze
try
it
to
in
slide
there.
it in real quick
See,
before
nah,
we got out of
he
here.
doing no effort, bro.
He doesn't no effort. He does it so
You
good.
can't
He
be,
just
you can't be
like,
looking it up.
I start reading.
You know what I mean? He just knock him out.
and I don't like it, man. I mean, I
No.
love it. I'm very envious of it. But I was like, damn, I got to do one. But I can't find them.
Read
So
some books.
So usually I'm an editor, and someone had agreed to do some editing projects for me. They do it for free. They was like, man, I want to support your brand, whatever you want to do. It came back. I said, this needs a lot of work. And I was just like, I don't know how to say thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
But then I was like, hey, I love it, dude. I had to go that direction. And I was like, what some of the changes I would say is, you know, this. And he was like, that was the whole goddamn video. But but I had to like baby step on.
Right.
But he was like, anything else? I was like, I mean, you know, I would shoot vertical, you know, instead of cropping it out. The music's kind of cheesy. But other than that, he's like, you sure? And I was like, but then I was like,
Everything.
I got to keep going. I was like, because he said, come on, start on it right now. I was like, I got to keep going.
No, you have to. If you have to.
you did it the right way.
Yeah.
Like you piece by piece. You
Right.
didn't come
Yeah,
in,
at least you did it nicely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
too
Love it.
Radamonte and really just overwhelming. What the smooth out of it?
Context clues don't even tell me what that word means.
It is
was like, he's a-
boastful or inflated talk or behavior.
Oh, just like
No.
that to Babatunde you just said right
Right.
now.
I thought he said Romulate sauce. I was like, nigga, I could eat.
Radamonte.
I could eat.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm hungry.
Radamonte.
Wording is hard.
That's what it
Delivery-
is. Look,
delivery
let me
is
see,
important.
Let me see.
Yeah.
And that was a big
You
problem for
can't
me.
emphasize on the
Yeah.
word. You got to let us.
Oh, Radamonte.
Yeah.
Okay.
Accent on the aid. Noun.
Radamonte.
Yeah.
Taid is defined as boastful or inflated talk.
You can use it all wrong,
So-
too.
Yeah,
Huh?
definitely.
What did I say it right? What do you mean?
Because he wasn't being.
Well,
Yeah, that,
wasn't-
No, I
that's
said
it.
he didn't come in with too
That
much.
was egregious. That was. I mean, that's what you were doing, sir. Okay.
This was a great show up until the last 2 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Nah,
until
that
you
was
ruined it with
that was dope what he
that
said.
18
Though.
syllable word.
Yeah. It, so many syllables.
a
Yeah.
lot. I didn't make the word, guys.
Yeah.
But you
It's
said
the
it.
first one I
Yeah.
came for.
I think 4 syllables is the max
That's
for people.
it.
When you go like 5, 6, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
slow down.
You're doing a lot.
Radamonte. It's 4 syllables. Radamonte.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pushing
He
the
said
limit.
4+.
Like, it's like when you say
Yeah.
something like, this girl's perpendicular. Was it
Perpendicular?
No.
What are you trying to say?
Perpendicular.
No.
What
Messing
word
us all up now.
Pulchritudinous. I see.
don't
I know this woman's pulchritudinous, and it's her beauty. You're attracted by. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like that. Why would you use that word?
I'm gonna text y'all some new ones though.
Pulchritudinous.
We gonna
just
get
say she
get to
fine,
this.
bro.
Right.
That's
That's
what
it. That's all you got to say.
over the top.
It's
She
just a
was
show
bad.
for
From
that
the
you
root
know it
word
though.
pulchritude, it is the Latin.
Can I have the pronunciation, please?
Well, listen, man, everybody get up out of here. If y'all want to drop the socials and tell people where they can find you at, that would be amazing. Dion, you want to kick it off first?
Absolutely. 287-736-94996 is my social. Make sure you. No.
I was like, what is he doing right now?
Phone number?
I thought he was giving the phone number.
Address.
Right. What are you
Dion
drunk?
down
Like,
bad.
yes, it is.
10024.
I have
So
no
he's
idea whose
struggling.
social number it is. Please don't look it up. Yeah, Dion Lack, DionLack on all platforms. If you're in Los Angeles, please feel free to reach out to LT Studios. We have 2 locations for you to shoot kitchen shows, podcasts, skits, sketches, commercials, interviews. We have a whole team. We shoot, produce, write, direct, and that's it for me.
At Keon Poli on everything. Yeah, just go to KeonPoli.com. It takes you to all my socials. It takes you to my road gigs, everything. Everything is on there. Podcast coming back out. Got a podcast now. Tony Baker, DC Irvin, Craig Wans, and Chaz Rogers called Daddy Issues. Keon's All Stars on the Kev on Stage app. Check that out. Like I said, shows. And then if you see me in person, say hi. I'm nice.
I'll let you be the judge of that, guys.
I'm nice. I'm actually, you know what's crazy? I'm actually more up with those people than like social settings.
Oh, really?
Like if it's I hate using the word fam, but like if it's like
supporter,
it's a supporter, they're like, hey, I'm like, what's up? How you doing? You know what I mean? Until they start holding me hostage, then I'm like, then I fade out. I'm like, all right, we had 7 minutes.
Right.
Come on.
I hate when they do that at the merch table. I'm like, I gotta.
We gotta get to the next person. But
I'm glad that you're happy.
Not to hear gonna make me watch all my videos, see how my delivery is.
No, what?
I understand delivery is a problem.
Yeah,
and that's something I am working on.
He be making content on content that he has posted. Like, so I posted this yesterday.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments said. So it's a twofer right there.
People provide more stuff, and then the second one it hit harder, and to make them go back, watch the first one. Right?
Replay value.
You know what I mean?
It's a genius,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Tristan J. Winger.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
His name explains his vocabulary.
J
I'm like, he had to learn the name.
I had to put the
and
J
then had
in
to
there.
learn.
I mean, it stands for something. But like,
It would be wild if it didn't.
if it was just
J. And it's not even on his birth certificate. He just added it in.
just add the letter.
Because there's another Tristan Winger, so I
Smack
just
dab
had
in the middle of the alphabet.
Yeah,
J.
Tristan
This works.
J.
That's
I like
a good
this.
one.
It feels good.
Esquire.
Doctor.
Dr. Tristan J. Esquire
I
the third?
I trust him.
Wowzers.
Officer Dr. Tristan J. Winger, Esquire, the third junior.
I'll let him handle my taxes.
And you get married, and your last day took him over.
Oh my God.
You can find me at Tristan J. Winger on all platforms. Taking a break from social media, but look at all the stuff that's already there.
Yeah.
Real cool.
Yeah.
And some TV shows that I can't talk about because it's a writer's strike and a SAG strike.
Mm-hmm.
But check those out too. It's all out there.
They all out there.
IMDb.
There are
the name.
archives.
I am. I'm about to.
Yeah, there's stuff out there.
He working. I've seen him.
Well, listen, man. Thank all my guests for coming up. The kids in the back, you didn't even know they was here. They been chilling the whole time.
Well behaved.
boy.
Well,
Well
they got in a mini fight, but y'all didn't notice it.
Oh, okay.
I saw it at the corner of my eye.
You saw the As always, I'm to hear more. We'll see you next time on the next episode of More to the Story. Peace, guys.